Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be covering how good are these Pokemon at level 50. Again, I spent a ton of time doing this analysis, so if you could give this video a like, that'd be very much appreciated. Share with anyone that you would think would find this interesting. So as you know, or may not know, a new level cap is being released, and that means Pokemon are going to reach new heights and new CPs. So with that, there's some Pokemon that I'm going to be focused on, Pokemon that were not meta or not necessarily relevant in their respective leagues, or that now potentially could be relevant based off of people's suggestions on Twitter and on the YouTube community tab. So let's go ahead and take a look. So a couple ground rules. I compare the level 40 to either the rank 1 with the, okay, I don't really say it either, but basically the rank 1 with the new level cap. This does not include level 51 because that feature is not available on PvPoke just yet. I compare all shield scenarios, so all the ones listed there. List Pokemon used are based off the PvPoke custom groups. That ones are meta for the league that I'm looking at. I will give it a rating from out of 10 if it is worth having, 10 being a definite yes, 0 being a definite no. The CPMs are speculative right now, so the real results may differ, but this should be fairly accurate. So let's go ahead and take a look. For Great League, we're going to be looking at Chansey, Kanto, Grimer, and Lickitung. And let's say if this video gets to 1,000 likes, then I will do another set of them based off of people's suggestions if there's any of them that I'm missing. So Great League is probably not too interesting. Ultra League and Ultra Premier are probably a little bit more interesting, except for one of these three Pokemon I think will be definitely meta relevant. So first one is Chansey. The best one you want to get is the level 50, 15, 15, 15. I actually think it still goes below 1500. As you can see here, it picks up a lot of Zero Shield matchups, 11 of them to be exact, compared to the level 40 version. It picks up some notable matchups like Altaria, Azumarill, Swampert, and Tropius. And if you're curious on where I'm getting these numbers, the source of these numbers, just like my last video, there's a whole spreadsheet here that breaks down all the individual matchups, comparing the old and new rank ones, etc., etc. So if you want to take a look at that, it's going to be in the description of this video, so you can take a look and analyze for yourself. So as you can see, it picks up a bunch of Zero Shield matchups, but in my opinion, I wouldn't recommend it still. It might be viable for some like stall out tactics if you're interested in that. Like if I don't know, you pair with like Dugong or something else that's able to stall out matches a lot, then you can have your second last Pokemon be at 1 HP, then switch into Chansey, and then just basically stall out the match and try to win by timer, if that's something you're interested in doing. But it's 2 out of 10 for me. I wouldn't necessarily spend the Stardust or the candy to power up a Chansey for the Great League. Next one is Grimer. So Grimer, again, the change at the new rank 1 is going to be 10, 15, 14. It picks up the Machamp in the Zero Shield, the Vigoroth in the 1 and the 2 Shield, and the Azumarill in the Zero Shield. So these are new wins. So it beats Azumarill in the 1 and the 2 Shield, especially if they don't have a Hydro Pump. Because again, they're gonna have to throw Ice Beams, which are not as powerful as Hydro Pump. And mine's a 3 out of 10 for recommended. These Grimer is kind of underwhelming in terms of it being powered up in terms of the net new wins. It still does, what Grimer does, but as you can see, against the meta, it has a pretty low average rating. That's because it does lose quite a bit to the existing meta, and even with its moveset of, I think it's like Poison Jab, Mud Bomb, and Sludge Bomb, it's still not able to beat the Steel types despite having a ground move, because Mud Bomb's not that great of a move, and as well, Steel types double resist the Poison Jabs, so it makes it kind of difficult. I don't think necessarily it's a Pokemon that you should be looking to invest into, though if you're a Spice Lord, then it's something definitely that you should consider. Next one is Lickitung. This one I'm very much excited about. This one is with the Legacy Body Slam. The new rank 1 will be 8, 14, 15. Again, subject to change. It picks up a number of different matchups. So it already beats Azumarill, but now it secures the 2-shield Azumarill matchup. It also beats Deoxys in all even shield matchups, which I think is huge. It also beats Galvantula in all even shields, so secures the 0 and the 2 shield. Beats Tropius in the 1 shield, beats Skarmory in the 1 and the 2 shield, beats Munchlax in everything but the 0 shield when it comes to even shield scenario. It picks up Ferrothorn. This one I highly recommend that you look into. I think Munchlax is going to be... I'm not sure if it's going to replace Munchlax. I know, Lickitung, I should say. I don't know if Lickitung will replace Munchlax, but it has a better Azu matchup, which I think is really important. Its other matchups are pretty similar, but securing that more secure Azu matchup, I think is pretty important. And besides that, it's pretty similar. It does have a slightly worse Galarian Stunfist matchup and other steals, but besides Galarian Stunfist, there's not too many steel types that are weak to ground. Obviously, there's Skarmory and whatnot, but I think it's that Power Whip being, in theory, a better neutral move than Bulldoze is going to be really useful. So I would recommend that you take a look at obtaining some Lickitungs. It's pretty similar spread to what a current Azumarill would be. So I think it's going to be really strong. I think it's going to be a fantastic Pokemon. Now we're looking at the Ultra League meta. We're going to be looking at Defense Deoxys, Galarian Stunfist, and Umbreon. So the first one is Defense Deoxys in the Ultra League. The new rank 1 is going to be 12, 13, 15. Obviously, you can't trade for it, and obviously, if you didn't raid for it, that it's going to suck. But as you can see, if you look at its average scores, average rating in the 0 shield and 1 shield before, 531, 519, that's respectable. That means it puts up a fight against most of the meta already. And then the 2 shield, it's 464, so not so great. But you can see it picks up quite a few wins already. So in order to make, I think Defense Deoxys was borderline playable, but no one played it because obviously you had to max it out. It was a lot of candy, all that stuff, right? So you didn't see a lot of uses in it for Open Ultra. But now that it picks up the Cresselia matchup in the 0 and 1 shield, picks up the Malmetal matchup in the 0 shield, it loses to Registeel in the 0 shield just like it does in Great League, but picks up the 1 shield matchup, picks up the Charizard matchup in the 1 shield, picks up Escavalier, Granbull. In my opinion, this is enough to move Defense Deoxys into the realm of being meta. It does pick up 28 wins in the 1 shield, but a lot of those matchups are very close, which is why the rating is only 580 compared to like if you look in the 0 shield, it's like 600 because it has slightly more dominating wins or closer losses, I should say. But I think it's a very strong pick, something that people definitely should look into, and I think it'll definitely have a lot of really great play in the Ultra League meta. Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. Obviously, it has to worry about the next Pokemon, which is going to be Galarian Stunfist. So Galarian Stunfist, I think it maxes out with the speculative CPM. It's going to be like 24.55. So you probably do want to best buddy it. And I would probably start preparing to best buddy it. Who knows if the CPM is going to be higher, but I think this is going to be pretty accurate. And as you can see, Galarian Stunfist was already borderline usable, just like Defense Deoxys. It obviously only maxed to like 21 something. So as you can see here, beforehand it was already having an average rating of over 500, and the wins in the 0 shield were slightly below half, and in the 1 shield is above half, above 50%, I should say. And as you can see with this boosted CP and stats, it is a very strong Pokemon. It picks up the Charizard matchup in the 1 shield, picks up the Giratina Shadowclaw matchup in the 0 and 2 shield, so it's a much more reliable matchup. It also beats Giratina in all even shields when it has Dragon Breath. It picks up the Armored Mewtwo matchup, picks up the Snorlax matchup, and is actually able to pick up the Escavalier 2 shield matchup. So I think it's going to be really strong and definitely have a role in the meta. It obviously beats Cresselia pretty well, able to stand toe-to-toe with Giratina, beats Registeel, able to go toe-to-toe with Escavalier. beat Charizard, beat Articuno. Actually loses Articuno in the 2 shield, I think. But again, I think it's a fantastic Pokemon. Something that people should be looking to if they're looking to play Open Ultra League. You do need the 100% though, or high IV, I should say. The next one is Umbreon. So Umbreon picks up a ton of wins in the 0 shield. It also picks up a lot of wins in the 1 shield. It picks up Empoleon in the 0 shield, Lapras in the 0, Malmetal in the 0, Alolan Muck in all even shields. That might be a little bit bait dependent, but I'm sure it's a very close matchup. It picks up Swampert in the 0 and 1 shield. Picks up Giratina in the 2 shield with Dragon Breath. So now it is a very reliable Giratina counter across all even shields, regardless of moveset. And then as well picks up the Cresselia in the 1 and the 2 shield. It does lose the 0 shield. But my question is, it's just a poor person's Obstagoon. It does pick up, you basically trade off more reliable, being a more reliable Giratina and Cresselia counter, because Obstagoon loses to, I think, Cresselia outside the 2 shield, but you trade it off for being a worse Registeel, worse, Galarian Stuntisk, which is going to be meta relevant, and worse Lapras matchup because of that counter damage. So they serve very similar roles, and Obstagoon does lose to Alolan Muck, but is much more bait dependent on Alolan Muck's side. And as well, you have a slightly worse, well, outside the, as long as shields are up, you have a worse Malmetal matchup. So it's something to consider and to factor in. I rated 5 out of 10. I think it's totally usable, and it might even be better once you best buddy it. But I think your resources are probably going to be better spent elsewhere. But again, if you have some excess dust, then something to look into. And the next one is going to be Ultra League Premier. We're going to be looking at Alolan, Raichu, Galvantula, and Scrafty. So Alolan Raichu, as you can see, does pick up quite a few wins in each of the shield scenarios. Six in the 0, 5 in the 1, and 5 in the 2. It picks up Escavalier, it picks up Clefable in the 0 and the 1, picks up Toxicroak in the 1, and Machamp in the 1 and 2 shield. I think that there may be better electric types out there. I think these ones are a little bit more bulky, or have like slightly better typing. It depends on how you want to perceive the meta. Like if you think that you want something that covers, let's say Lapras and Machamp or Toxicroak are going to be way more meta relevant, then Alolan Raichu will come into play. But if Swampert comes into play, this is with Volt Switch, Thunder Punch, and Wild Charge. If Swampert comes into play, or some other Pokemon have a little bit more viability, then maybe like other Pokemon will have better counterplay. But its squishiness does hurt it. But I think it's an interesting pick, and it was borderline usable. Now it's definitely usable, but I think there's like a lot of like anti-flyers that you could be using instead that might have a little bit better play. Also, like it's like weak to Snorlax, which like the other electric types don't have as much of an issue with. So I think just take into consideration, I think it's playable and usable, but I don't think it's going to be a top tier Pokemon. And it has some like pretty fierce competition when it comes to electric types and anti-flyers. So, and Snorlax being such a good safe switch is problematic for it for sure. All right, the next one is going to be Galvantula, another Pokemon that is also an electric type that it has to compete against. It does pick up Clefable in the 0 shield, Togekiss in the 1 shield, Toxicroak in the 1 shield, Venusaur in the 1 shield, Lapras in the 1 shield, Escavalier in the 1 shield. The thing is, like, Galvantula needs shields. It's like, there's no denying it, right? You can see it picks up exactly 0 matchups when it's down 2 shields, only picks up 2 matchups against the meta when it's down, when they have 0 shield and they have 1 shield. And as you can see, its 2-shield play is not that great because of the squishiness of it. Its 1-shield is where it ultimately shines. But Galvantula also has like carry forward effect. Like if you can lunge the next Pokemon, that's certainly helpful in the matchup, which is something that Alolan Raichu doesn't have. Again, if you have excess dust or you really love Galvantula, then I think it's a usable pick. It's not so crazy to use it now, or once the new level cap comes out and you put it to level 50. But do I think it'll be the meta? I don't think so. There's a lot of competition again in that area. So yeah, so something to consider. That's all. It's good, but it's not going to be the top of everyone's list or something that someone needs to have if they want to compete. So Scrafty again, similar to Raichu, similar to, you know, Stuntisk and Defense Deoxys. It was borderline usable. You weren't so crazy to use it, maybe a little bit to use it in Ultra Premier. It does pick up the Swampert matchup in all even shields, picks up Gallade and Escavalier, but it doesn't really pick up too much beyond that. That's basically all its even shield wins. Recommendations 6 out of 10. Again, there's a lot of really great counter users in Ultra Premier already. Like, you know, you have Shadow Machamp, regular Machamp, Toxicroak, Obstagoon, Escavalier, all of them that I think have a better typing than Scrafty. I'm not sure how much its dark typing really helps it out. Maybe if we see more Gengars, for example, or if we start seeing we start seeing more psychic types than Scrafty will become more relevant. But right now, I think it's, again, usable. But if you have excess dust or you really love Scrafty, then I think it's definitely worth having. But besides that, I think your dust is better spent on the 3 Pokemon that I gave a high recommendation to, which were Lickitung with Body Slam, Defense Deoxys, and Galarian Stunfisk. If you have excess dust, look into Umbreon, look into Scrafty, look into Galvantula, look into Alolan Raichu. But I would avoid spending dust on Chansey and Grimer, because it's going to be a lot of dust and you want to be able to spend your resources wisely. So anyways, that's the end of the video. If there are other Pokemon that you want me to look at, obviously there's Pokemon like Skarmory, like Altaria, like Cradily, a number of different Pokemon that I could look into and dive into. Just let me know down in the comment section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and comment below on what you think. Which Pokemon are you looking forward to power up to level 50? And anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.